Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. We are in 11th Kathopanishad, 11th verse, and in the 10th verse we saw how Lord of Death, when he tells our Nachiketa that Janami, what was it? 9, where is 10? Janamyaham shevadihi ityanityam न ह्यध्रुवैः प्राप्यते हि ध्रुवं ततो मया नचिकेता चितोऽग्निः अनित्यैर्द्रव्यैः प्राप्तवान् अस्मि नित्यम्. And he says that janamyaham, I know. What do I know? Shevadihi iti anityam, that whatever is the karma phala is always anitya. It is temporary. Karma phala is never permanent, and therefore, and because whatever is impermanent, whatever is non-eternal, it can only give you a non-permanent result. It cannot give you a permanent result. And making this statement, he says, "O Nachiketa, that when I was of your age, I also did lot of sadhana, and at that time I used the non-eternal materials for eternal gain. Unknowingly, I used non-permanent materials, dravya means this home samagri you use, you use the home samagri, the mixture and all those things. All that is samidha, all that is dravya, and all that is inert. When you use inert, non-permanent things to gain the eternal, you will only get in return a non-eternal result. You cannot get an eternal result. And what was the non-eternal result? He became the Lord of Death. That is non-eternal. Oh, how can you say it is non-eternal? He will tell in the next verse. Because compared to an ant, our life is eternal. Because so many lifetimes of ants can come and go compared to our lifetime of 70, 80, 90 years. But compared to God, compared to the Lord of Death, or we can say compared to the Brahmaji, the creator, how long is his day? His day is 74 cycles times 74 cycles of Chatur Yuga multiplied by 14 kalpas is equal to 1 day of Brahmaji. So till then, and after that what will happen? Brahmaji will become unmanifest. The creator will become unmanifest. So when creator becomes unmanifest, then all the gods, they also have to become unmanifest. All the rishis, they also have to become unmanifest. See? So, compared to the eternal truth is the eternal feeling of Brahmaji an eternal one? No, it is not eternal. It also has a time limit. It also has a duration. And therefore, our Lord of Death, he is very appreciative of Nachiketa, who has, well, he's in this particular verse, he is reminded of his school days when he was also a mortal. He was also born as a being on this plane. He also did sadhana. He also invoked fire, but he invoked fire, the Vaishwanara Agni. Today, after a few verses before, it was renamed as Nachiketa Agni. He invoked that Vaishwanara Agni with dravya, not with attention, with dravya. And therefore, when you use dravya, when you use impermanent means to invoke that fire, you will get impermanent results. And what is the maximum you can get? You can come to be one with the Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha is the first manifestation of the divine. And what is that Hiranyagarbha? Hiranyagarbha is the cause of all that you can see or not see. Hiranyagarbha is where out of Hiranyagarbha comes the totality and the individuality. Totality, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. Individuality, you know yourself. But all this possibility is unmanifest in Hiranyagarbha. But Hiranyagarbha is also a total phenomena. Phenomena is only at two levels, individual level and total level. And when we use the dravya, when we use objects, when we use material to invoke that infinite, the maximum that you can get is only total infinite. You cannot get absolute infinite. So how do we get lost in this? We are talking about from Upanishadic point of view. What is total infinite? What is relative immortality? Relative immortality is when you go after gods. From absolute point, there is no God. From water's point of view, there is no ocean, there is no wave. So when a wave invokes the infinite, it wants to be absolute, but it is invoking the absolute. I will do pranayam, I will do japa, I will go to temples, I will do tirtha yatra, I will do havan, I will do bhajan, I will do naam sankirtan. That teriki. Phas gaye. All that can only lead you to totality. It cannot deliver you to absolute. Why it cannot deliver you to absolute? Because you are already the absolute. You are already the absolute. करो ये सब, फंसो मत. हम फंस जाते हैं. We get caught up, and that we get caught up is not enough. How we get caught up, that must be very clear in front of us. Just like the GPS shows you how to get to a particular destination, the GPS, similarly, all the GPS other than Upanishads can only show you the destination which is relatively immortal. Only the Upanishads take you to not even take you, guide you to the absolute. Only the Upanishads. They have no place for anything else. They are continuously beckoning the student, the seeker, to recognize that absolute which is his essential nature. And this, the Lord of Death, this quality in Nachiketa, the Lord of Death is appreciating. And now in the next verse, till here we saw in our last class, and so all the swargas, last week I was telling you, all the various heavens, Bhurbhuva Swatapa Janama Satyam, these are all the planes of higher consciousnesses. There are 14 planes of existence. These are the 7 higher planes of existence according to the Puranic and the thing, according to the Hindu scriptures. But no mention of them is given in the Upanishads. But they are equally valid in the sense, those who believe in relativity, those who are using, they want to be free of the cycle of birth and death, and they don't know how to contemplate on the absolute. They use certain objects, they use certain means, they use certain supports in order to know the absolute. They end up in one of these higher planes of existence or consciousness. Some people want to fulfill all their desires. Some people want to be free of hunger and thirst and disease and old age. Some people want to help the society. They come back as siddhas, and so on and so forth. The ultimate is the Satyalok. Satyalok is where the abode of the Creator, and once you go there, you don't have to come back. But if the Creator chooses you, this is a good instrument, let me use him to do my work, he will send you back to earth. And such people, you see, they are born with lot of siddhis, powers, and from childhood they are able to help the society by way of powers, by way of healing, by way of knowledge, by way of sadhana, whatever. They are guide to lot of people from whatever age it clicks into them. And that such people are not born because they want to be born. It is the Lord's wish, and He sends them. But that is not. But you will die, body will die, you will go back to you will go back to the Creator. Again He will send you next cycle somewhere else. Acha, now I need you there. Acha, वहाँ का काम खत्म हो गया, they are not learning, they are not improving, no point sending you there again, I'll send you to somewhere else. I'll send you to Australia. Here also, hey, all fools, nobody is learning, okay, next time I'll send you to Africa. Time pass, he is also time passing, and the Siddha is also time passing, because he has got no purpose of his own. He is only an instrument, a Kataputli. कठपुतली को हिंदी इंग्लिश में क्या बोलते हैं मेरे को पता नहीं. He is just a puppet in the hands of the Creator. For whatever he wants to do, he does. And that is true even right now with us. We are puppets in his hand, but we don't know it, and we think we are Tismar Khan, we have got choice, we are doing a great job. Lage raho. You're determining your own misery by way of that. Anyway, but so this Lord of Death, he is so inspired by the disposition of Nachiketa that he tells him his secret, that I was not as good a student as you are. I am really thrilled by you. And last week we were telling you, the teacher is on fire when he finds an eligible, available, single pointed, with clarity, not succumbing to any of the temptations, And such a student is rare to find, and once you find and someone is very willing to listen with open eyed and he's understanding, you can see the presence of that person. The teacher also gets into fire and he wants to pour everything that he has into that student, because such a student is a rare one. We saw some of his qualities before, right? So now he says, in the 11th verse we come, he says, so now he is in this verse, he is appreciating the vairagya, the dispassion of Nachiketa. Clearly, he is so taken up by the presence of Nachiketa and his qualities that he is not able to stop himself. He says, Kamasyaptim jagata pratishtham, Kamasyaptim jagata pratishtham, Katoranantyam abhayasya param, Kratoranantyam abhayasya param, Stomahadurugaya pratishtham drishtva, Stomamahadurugayam pratishtham drishtva, Dhrutyadhiro nachiketotyasrakshihi, Dhrutyadhiro nachiketotyasrakshihi, Kamasyaptim jagada pratishtham, Kratoranantyam abhayasya param, Stomamaham, not Stomamahadurugayam pratishtham drishtva, Dhrutyadhiro nachiketotyasrakshihi. He says, O Nachiket, the Kamasyaptim jagada pratishtham, see, Kama is desire. What did we say? What is Jagat? What is the world? World is nothing but which is standing on the foundation of desire only. For us, not in essence. In essence, the foundation is the Paramatma. But our world is not the world of Paramatma. Our world is the world of our desires. My wife, my children, my body, my disease, my health, my hunger, my thirst, my house, my investments, all this is based on our desires. That is our world. And that world is a virtual world. If it were, and once we are free of all these desires, you will be still in this world, but you are in tune with the divinity that is pervading through the world. For that, it is necessary that we dive within. For that, you have to cultivate dispassion towards the world. So he says here, the end of all desires, the stay of all universe, the endless fruit of worship, the other shore of fearlessness, the praiseworthy, the great and boundless goal, all these you have held on to. You have not compromised with any of these. Even after I presented you all the temptations, and why did you kept holding on to all these positives and didn't succumb? Because you are intelligent, O Nachiket, and you fearlessly you rejected all of them. See, this statement, every student is waiting to listen from a teacher. Isn't it? That, well done, you have. And by saying this, the Lord of Death has accepted, in this verse, in 11th verse, the Lord of Death, he has accepted Nachiket as his student. In this verse. He started in 7th verse, 7th till 11th. In 11th verse, he is accepting him. See. And therefore, where are we? One moment. 11, 12. Where is 11 gone? 11. So here he says in the 11th, in this verse that you have with steadiness, with steadfastness, without getting tempted by anything, you have renounced all that I presented you. And what did the Lord present him? Remember when he presented him, gave him the extra boon of Nachiketa Agni, he also gave him a garland. Remember, in the second boon, he gave him a garland. What did that garland represent? That garland represent the Prakriti. So, he's already given him the Prakriti. So, total Prakriti, who is the Lord of total Prakriti? Where is the total? So, how do you become the master of the total creation? Only by getting to Hiranyagarbha. Now, last week also I told you, I'll tell you again, I got a lot of patience. That absolute expresses as Ishvara and Prakriti. That Prakriti, when she manifests, before she becomes Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic, she is expressing the Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, the purity, dynamism and inertia, these three modes. But before they have become separated, just like inside you, there is a mother also, a daughter also, a friend also, a wife also, but they are all mixed. They need to come out and separate. They are separate roles that you play. There is no intermixture of those, isn't it? Similarly, this unmanifest Prakriti, unmanifest Shakti, unmanifest the power, the unmanifest potentiality of the divine, she has become alive, but she has not become multi-pointed yet. Just like when you wake up in the morning, there are no thoughts in your mind. You are lying there in the bed, your mind is empty, but you are awake. Something like that. That stage is called where all potentiality is possible but is present in its nascent stage, is present in its unmanifest state. That is called Hiranyagarbha, the golden womb, the golden egg. Garbha is the womb, Hiranya is the gold, the golden womb. And in that golden womb, it is just like yesterday I took some moong dal and I kept it in water for some time, for half a day or one day. And this morning I took it out and I wrapped in a wet cloth and I left it. Already that moong dal, it has bulged. Maybe in a day or two, the shoot will start coming, or the root will start coming out of it. What you call as sprouts. And then I will nicely put some spices in it and eat it for salad, for lunch, or make a soup out of it. So what is happening? Life was unmanifest before. Absolute doesn't need life. It is life. It is what it is. Life as we know it is possible only where there is duality. And duality, what is the source of duality? Unmanifestation is the manifest is the source, is the cause of duality. So duality has not become separate, but it is present. What is present in that swollen mung dal? The root and the shoot, both are, because it was flat like this, now it has become like this. And within a few hours or maybe a day, first the root will come out, then slowly, if I leave longer, shoot will come out. I took few weeks ago in December or January, our Ravi brought me some mangoes, and after mangoes my mom told me, oh, put some mango in the pot. I said, what, you making me work more? Anyway, I put 2 mango seeds. Now plants have come out. There is a root also, there is a shoot also. Sorry, the other way. Root also, shoot also. Nicely, about 10 leaves in each one of them. Beautiful. I'm looking for a backyard to plant it. One of them, not both. Someone has already, I don't know who it was, but they said they'll take it. Anyway, so what I'm saying is that the root and the shoot have not come out yet, but they are present inside the seed, but they have not become manifest. You can't see anything, but the possibility is there inside. It is already bulging with the possibility. So avyakt, unmanifest, manifest. So unmanifest was not there only before. Where it was not there? Because it was only absolute. When absolute became conscious of its potentiality, immediately she became manifest. The moment she becomes manifest, she starts bulging, because now life is flowing through her, through that power, through that potentiality. Whenever we give attention to someone, they feel important, isn't it? So when the absolute is giving attention, when he gives attention, he is called Ishvara. That Ishvara is giving attention to his darling, his own better half, we should say. So she is feeling important. When she feels important, she starts dressing up for her hubby. What is the dressing up? The root and the shoot. The aham and the idam. The variety, the space, air, fire, water, earth, inside and outside. The adi, bhautik, adi, daivik, adhyatmik. All this is present in its unmanifest state in the avyakta, in the prakriti, in the nature, in the unmanifest nature. And that unmanifest nature is called the Hiranyagarbha. And once a Mahatma, a seeker, has become one with the Hiranyagarbha, another name for Hiranyagarbha, anyone can tell me? Another name for Hiranyagarbha? Another name for Hiranyagarbha?
Vaishvanara?
Huh?
Vaishvanara?
No, Vaishvanara is the Agni. Vaishvanara is the Agni. Hiranyagarbha, say?
Deep sleep state?
No. Yes, you are not far from the answer. Deep sleep state, but we know deep sleep state only as the individual deep sleep state, isn't it?
Yeah.
We don't know the total deep sleep state is Hiranyagarbha. Just like our individual deep sleep state is the cause of unmanifest waking and dream experiences. Similarly, the total deep sleep state, well, I think it is Hiranyagarbha is even beyond total deep sleep state.
Yeah.
Some say it differently, but okay, we can take it that way. We can take it as total deep sleep state, not individual one.
Yes.
Another name for it, Brahmaji, the creator.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Another word for it, Sutratma. So these are the different names. When you read some books, you will get these names. These are the names by which it is known. Mahat Tattva. Mahat Tattva means, Tattva means the essence. Mahat is the greatest essence. So what is the consciousness which is expressing through the golden egg? It is called Mahat Tattva. See? And that is Sutratma. That is Brahmaji with form. When the womb opens up, it not opens up in the sense of opens up, it becomes that unmanifest becomes manifest. Then Brahmaji gets form, then Vishnu gets form, then Shivji gets form. So here what is told, let's read the Bhashya. Tvam tu kamasyaptim samaptim atraiva ihaiva sarve kamaha parisamaptaha jakataha parisamaptaha. But O Nachiket, but you, having beheld the end of all desires, for here, that is in Hiranyagarbha, all desires are fulfilled. What are the desires that what are you earning for? What are you living for? You are living for comfort or discomfort? Comfort. You are earning for what? For satisfying your hunger and thirst. You are living this life for what? You are living life and striving in this life for joys, to gain more and more joy, and run away from sorrows, isn't it? So run away from discomforts, get enough food and drinks, run away from sorrows, and gain more and more joy. And this is possible in the various heavens. What is the maximum heaven? This Hiranyagarbha is the maximum heaven, where all the time, so compared to the mortal, the human life in Hiranyagarbha, see, one Kali Yuga, according to the Puran, we saw 4,032,000 years, multiplied by that is just Kali Yuga. Times 2 is Dwapar, times 3 is Treta, times 4 is Satyug. All of them put together, one cycle of creation. All that put together, one cycle of creation. 74 cycles of creation like that. How many times? 14 times. Is one day of Brahmaji, is one day of the manifest Brahmaji. Oh my God. So it is, everyone can come and go. Once you have reached Hiranyagarbha, you can twiddle your thumbs. Time pass karo yaar, ab to masti hai. Nothing to do, nowhere to go, all desires fulfilled without doing anything. You don't feel hungry, you don't feel thirsty, you don't have any likes, you don't have any dislikes. Ba. See? Like a person, everyone is a citizen. Like everyone is consciousness, everyone is a citizen. But when you become a Prime Minister, what power you have? You have more powers than any normal citizen, isn't it? Prime Minister is also a citizen, but he has extraordinary powers. And he has got ministers and he has got workers under him. Similarly, Brahmaji is also nothing but consciousness. You are also conscious principle, he is also conscious principle. You are functioning through a limited body, he is functioning through an unlimited body. See? And he has all the powers. Now when a mortal, a human being, a seeker does focus and contemplates and comes to the Hiranyagarbha, the abode of the Creator, when he gets there, he gathers all that. He is also presented with all those powers. He is also. So we see Mahatma within our lifetime. If I don't know if you have seen, but you People have come across many Mahatmas who show extraordinary powers of clairvoyance, clairaudience, manifestation, healing, separating their limbs and putting them together without having gone to any studies, speaking so many languages, knowing all the scriptures. They can manifest at many places at the same time. Not because they want to, because someone calls them. And they can do it if they want to also. So these are just few of the points that I told, but that is possible. You have a complete freedom, and you have to just exercise that choice to be the Prime Minister and work towards it. And you will also get all the powers. Our Nachiketa, he did not choose comfort and running away from discomfort. He did not choose freedom for hunger and thirst, disease and old age. He did not choose running away from miseries and only collecting joys when Lord of Death presented him with all the apsaras and lordship over the whole world. He did not choose it. He did not say yes. But our Lord of Death, when he was a student, he said yes. देखो फंस गया वो. And therefore he is appreciating and bringing out the quality of our Nachiket in front of us, and he is telling it right on his face that you have focused on the end of all desires. Here in Hiranyagarbha, all desires are fulfilled, and I told you what all the desires are, and therefore and this Hiranyagarbha is the support of all worlds, comprising the Adhyatma, the individual bodies, Adhyatma is the soul, Adi Bhut is the bodies, and Adi Daiva is the God. All these three, the cause of it is Hiranyagarbha. At individual state, as Renuka said, what is the cause of all the bodies in the waking and the dream plane of consciousness? The deep sleep state. If you can reach the deep sleep state without going to sleep, you have accessed Hiranyagarbha. You have accessed Hiranyagarbha. So where are all these interactions, this wonderful Gujju food I ate today, and these wonderful people here? Where are they? They are all in where did they come from? Where did they manifest from? From the Hiranyagarbha. Can any god access Hiranyagarbha? Can any god access Hiranyagarbha? They do. They go to Brahmaji. You also can do it. So many Mahatmas have done it. Ravan also did it. Ravan also did it. He also accessed the Hiranyagarbha. He became so powerful, but he became powerful with body. And he wanted the body to be immortal. The Lord of Death, he was righteous. He was not concerned about body, but he was more concerned about duty. He was concerned about righteousness. He was concerned about virtues, ethics, niti, the do's and don'ts, the rights and wrongs. He wanted to be clear about it, and that led him to then he was, as a result of his upasana and his sadhana, he was presented as the position of the Lord of Death, and he stuck there. But Nachiket, you are not like that. And in this way, here he says, where are we? Jagatas sadhyatmadi bhutadhi devadaihi devadehe pratistham ashrayam sarvatmakatvat kratoho phalam hiranyagarbha padamanantyam abhayasya cha param nishtham. And when once you reach that, here when he says abhayasya cha param nishtham, you showed fearlessness in renouncing the greatest relative present that I could give you. Relative means that which can come and go. What can come and go? Hiranyagarbha also comes and goes. And that's the maximum at the relative level, at the phenomenal level. That's the maximum you can achieve by way of sadhana. You call that Hiranyagarbha Satyalok, you call it Saket, you call it Kailash, you call it, the various gods have their own abodes. All that is the same thing. That is not our goal here. जो रामायणी लोग हैं, don't get shocked. We are addressing an Upanishad. और ये किसकी धरोहर है? ये है अपने सनातन धर्म की धरोहर. We are lost only in Bhagavatam and Puranas and Ramayanam without understanding. You want to understand Ramayana, you listen to Adhyatma Ramayana. Sita will tell you who real Ram is. But we want only the story. We only want to feel good. Because to delve into the reality, it's a bit scary for us. Because what is the requirement to delve into reality? Vairagya, dispassion. There we are scared. Oh, I have to give up. I have to give up attachment to children. I have to give up attachment to wife. I have to give up my coffee. I have to give up my dosa. I have to give up my matha. अरे यार, फिर तो जीने का मजा क्या है? What is there to live after that? Then we are not qualified for Upanishads. Then जाके अपना हरे राम 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 हरे हरे करते रहो जाके. Nisargadatta Maharaj used to say, this is not available in this shop. Go somewhere else. Stomam stutyam mahad animadyaihi animadyaishwarya Animadi Aishwarya Adyaneka Gunasamhatam Stomam cha Tanmahaccha Niratishayatvat Stoma Mahat. So here he says that the immortal gods of worship, which is the place of Hiranyagarbha, the plane of Hiranyagarbha, and what is this? It is a plane of extreme fearlessness. There is, because what is the experience? The experience there is Sahasra Sheresha Purushaha Sahasraksha Sahasrapad Sabhumim Vishwato Vrutva. Your realization there is, that is Sahasra. What is your realization? That you are expressing in and through every object and every being. How can, so there is no sense of otherness. Where there is no sense of otherness, will there be any fear? Fear is only where there is two. In Hiranyagarbha there is no two. Everything is blank. Possibilities of everything is there. Possibility of everything is there. But here you have gone consciously. Your consciousness has expanded. Just like when we teach you, when you When you wake up and you come to a class, we teach you that your mind alone supports the entire dream world. It projects the dream world. It is the material with which the dream world is created, and all life in the dream of plant, animals, humans, etc., etc., from amoeba all the way to gods in the dream is nothing but your mind. Mind is nothing but consciousness. That we can little bit suss out. Okay, yeah, I understand. Exactly the same way. But this is after waking up. Here it is happening consciously. You are sitting in meditation, you are contemplating, and your consciousness has expanded. Consciousness expands when it is not attached to anything. So why your consciousness has crystallized into an individual? Because of attachment. You drop the attachment. What does dropping attachment means? Dropping attachment doesn't mean like Ravana, cut your head and then I am getting detached. No. Detachment means stop giving value to everything. Just like after you wake up, you give zero value to the dream people, the dream wife, the dream children, the dream gods, everyone, isn't it? Everything immediately you forget. You don't give value. Does that mean next day you will not get a dream? You will get a dream. You cannot stop it. If you stand in front of a mirror, can you stop the reflection from coming? No. Are you attached to the reflection? In the morning when you go and shave, or today I was cutting the mustache, not today, a few days ago I was cutting the mustache, trimming it. So I have to look smart in front of you. More because when I'm eating, it should not go into my mouth. So I go stand in front of the mirror, I look into the mirror and, acha, I have to cut my mustache. Acha, aja. Am I cutting the mustache in the mirror, or I am looking in the mirror but working on the real one, not on the image? Working on the real, isn't it? So there is no problem. So what is attachment? Attachment is that, like our cat, it looks at its own reflection in the glass, and all her hairs stand up. Wow! She thinks there is another cat standing outside. Or sometimes that magpie comes and she looks at the sliding door. The sun is reflecting. It's not able to see inside because of the reflection. All it sees is there is another magpie on the other side. And what does it do? It goes and pecks and tries to fight with that magpie. It hits from this side, that side, from top, and sometimes it bleeds. This is what we are doing in our daily life. We bleed, we get stress, we get strain, we get disease, we get discomfort, we get irritated. All this is bleeding, physical, psychological, mental. This is bleeding only. Why? We are fighting with the image. We have taken it to be real. But the reflection in the mirror is only it's a phenomena. It is not real. But when it comes to this world, we take it to be real. A person who is meditating, who is contemplating on the truth, like Nachiketa, he doesn't take it to be real. So what happens? While living in this world, he is practicing vairagya, he is practicing dispassion. As a result of that, his mind is free. Mind is nothing but consciousness. So consciousness expands. And what is the maximum that it will expand to? To Hiranyagarbha, the total mind. See, understand this. And it is an extreme state of fearlessness, and anyone who has reached that state becomes praiseworthy, becomes, people look up to him. It is natural. He doesn't have to do anything to advertise, send emails. I am coming, and now please come and welcome me at the airport and call me for bhiksha and wash my feet and do my puja. Why? Because I am the one who has reached Hiranyagarbha. I have got these powers, I have got that power. Don't require. Sun doesn't need an assistant. He is self-illuminating. So such a person who has reached Hiranyagarbha, he is even brighter than a sun. How many more suns are there in that Hiranyagarbha? So such a person, he is shining in his own right. And whenever there is a person of that caliber, of that energy, of that inspiration, of that knowledge or of that experience, he cannot stay in hiding for too long. People will discover. People will discover. Our Swami Nityananda Baba from Ganeshpuri, he was a 6 foot tall from Kerala, and he used to walk around naked. People had to tie a langot around him. And he was walking around, and one day some kids threw stone at him. So, in the playful mood, he is ever compassionate. So just to play with them, he also took a stone and threw at them. But that stone went and hit the glass of one of the shops. That day, that shop did 1 month business in 1 day. So now he said, how did this happen? Suddenly so much business. Then he analyzed, and at night he came to the conclusion it was that stone which came. So next day he is waiting for Nityanand Baba to come. Now not the children. Now he is throwing stones, so Baba throws stone. And other people ask, how come you are doing so much business? I think all of them are waiting with a stone. Baba ran from there. And for so many years, he did not show any siddhi. But one day, one couple, elderly couple, not too gone past the young age, in their middle age, they said, Baba, we don't have a child, please bless us, and we want a son. And he gave, and then the word spread. It's a small place, Ganeshpuri, and the word spread. And today he is a world-renowned. Then his disciple was Muktananda. Then his disciple was Guru Mai and another Junior Nityananda. Junior Nityananda I have also met. Guru Mai also I have met. They are brother and sisters who don't speak to each other now. But that's immaterial. Important is when it starts. Shirdi Sai Baba was like that. In the earlier days, he did not show anything. Suddenly from where he came, I met one Mahatma by the name of Heda Khan Baba. Heda Khan Baba, they say he is the avatar of Maha Avatar Baba. In Haldwani, near Rampur, suddenly he appeared. Nobody knows what his background is, where he came from. 17 years later, suddenly he vanished. And he blessed whoever was supposed to be blessed, built something. Built means he was living in a cave there. That cave is still there. I have gone and meditated in that cave. First time I met him was in that cave only. नीचे काली गंगा बह रही है. So these And so many, I'm just giving you one or two. There are so many Mahatmas. And this is what we give value to in life. Those people who are having powers, there are crowds. Where there is Upanishad, how many? Only 16 people. Why? सुन के क्या होता है? I need experience. जब तक पापड़ नहीं बेलोगे, experience कैसे आएगा? You want to be touched, you want to be kicked, you want to be someone to acha, come, I'll touch you and it will happen. That is not the way to, nobody can make you realize that way. If someone is promising that, run away. But majority of the people, they are carried away by all these things and they get attracted to all these extraordinary powers in a particular person, and they are natural for a person who has done some sadhana. If he is Godwards, if he is contemplating on the Hiranyagarbha, like our god of death also he did, you will get powers. उरुगायम विस्तीर्णाम गतिम प्रतिष्ठाम स्थितिम आत्मनः अनुत्तमामपि दृष्ट्वा धृत्या धैर्येण धीरः धीमान् सन् नचिकेतोऽत्य साक्षीः परमेव आकाङ्क्षन् नति सृष्टवानसि सर्वम् एतत् संसार भोगजातम् अहो बतानोत्तम गुणः असि. So he says here that great as combining many desirable powers such as anima, garima, laghima, ishitva. Anima is becoming smaller than the smallest, garima is becoming heavier than the heaviest, larger than the largest, controlling, attracting anyone just by thought. All these things are possible. Hypnotizing is not there, but those things come in the lower rung, it comes. But all these shaktis, they without practice, without invoking these shaktis, these powers, once you reach Hiranyagarbha, they become your normal state. And great, because it is unsurpassable, because after total mind there is nothing else. For the people who are in mind level, they don't think there is anything after the mind. Only Upanishads introduce you to something outside the mind and in and through the mind. Only Upanishads do that. And the boundless and surpassable goal of the Atman have boldly being intelligent, rejected, wishing only for the highest, and those who are having the vairagya, those who are contemplating on the infinite, those who are contemplating not on the total mind, but are contemplating on the self, on the spirit, on the Atman. They have rejected everything because of their discrimination. They have the viveka. And you have exhibited such quality, O Nachiket, and wishing only for the highest, all the hosts of enjoyment within the pale of samsara. So, samsara is where all the objectivity is the norm. Samsara is where the individuality and the totality, all that comes in the samsara only. Have you ever seen Shiva and Parvati living happily there ever after? Every cycle of creation they fight with each other. वो रूठ जाती है, then she has to take birth, then she comes down and try to please her. Then haven't you read Shiv Leela? Look at Lakshmi. She's never happy all the time. For some time she's happy, then फिर खुशली आ जाती है. नहीं चलो. He's always meditating. And see? So samsara is where there is two. I'm talking from this standpoint, today's standpoint. If you take Amrit Anubhav, I'll take a different standpoint. It is Leela. We must, here also we must understand it is Leela. But when we say Leela, we become, Acha, Leela hai, Ram Leela hai, Krishna Leela hai, tell me the story. But we don't understand the depth of it. Leela means that which is expressing in its own absence. Dream is enjoyable. Dream is a Leela. It is happening, but it's not present. Same way, waking is also happening, but we don't accept it. And where is this Leela? Individual and total. What? Mind. So mind itself is a place where all Leela is going on. Very rare few are the people who go beyond the total mind. Who go beyond the total mind. See? And therefore, aho batanu uttama gunaha asi, and asi, oh, wonderful, how great qualities you possess, O Nachiket, that you did not fall for any one of these powers, even though they were presented to you without you doing any effort, without you desiring. I presented you all, but you did not. You exhibited extreme dispassion. And he's praising him. And this praise itself is the acceptance of discipleship to communicate the highest truth to the eligible student. Now from here, the Upanishadic instructions begin. Till now, what was it? Story. My God, how many classes we have done? Till now, Upanishad did not begin. Yes, Upanishad, the first part was the preamble, the story part, what are the events that are taking place, what is the quality of a student who is capable, is available, is integrated, is synchronized, is purified, is unattached, has vairagya, has viveka, has shatka sampatti, has mumukshutvam. Only such a student is qualified for knowing the infinite truth. And that infinite truth is our essential nature, but it becomes and what is that infinite nature? It is our essential nature. So how can I come to know myself? We find a problem there. We find a problem. And we saw this problem in Upanishad, where the student says, why don't you answer? He says, it's the eye of the eye, the mind of the mind, the prana, the ear of the ear. He says, why can't you speak in straight language, man? He tells his teacher. The teacher says, this is how I was taught. This is how I am teaching. My job is, you asked me a question, I answered. It is your problem how to understand or not to understand. So what are the qualifications by which the student will understand? These are all the qualities. In Upanishad, these qualities were not mentioned. We mentioned few from our own side, but in the Upanishad they were not mentioned in detail. Here, so much in detail. How to be dispassionate towards the individual and the total world and remain focused on the infinite spirit, the infinite consciousness. There you go. This is the glory of Sanatana Dharma. I am aham atma. This I is Atma in essence. And this becomes available in that purified mind, because mind is always trying to work it out, from gross to subtle, subtle to causal, causal to, it wants to go to transcendental but remains in the causal. So how to bypass the causal and land up in the transcendental? That's where this unique system of Guru Shishya Parampara comes, where the Guru Maharaj, he instructs, and if the student, now it's the responsibility of the student to take in the words of the Guru Maharaj and let it spark, light the spark within. That spark will be lit only if we are purified, only if we are dispassionate, only if we are discriminating between the real and the unreal. That is the preparation. If even one little bit of error is there, that we are available to the ephemeral world, the changing world, the relative world, that spark will not light. You are living in that world, but you are not available to it. Like you are looking in the mirror, but you are not available to the reflection. You are available to your own hair when you are combing. Because you completely know that this reflection is only, it's a phenomena, it is not real, there is no purpose to get attached to it. It has got a purpose. What is that purpose? To fix the original. To work on the original. So what are these experiences? Today's Bhiksha, these wonderful people, this lecture, tomorrow's lecture, people coming into our life, experience, every moment some experience is happening. What are all these? These are all reflections, these are all incidences to work on yourself. Physical level, what you call, pranic level, mental level, intellectual level. Keep refining. Every day we must refine and refine and refine. That must express as growth. And what is that growth? Growth is more viveka, more clarity, more dispassion, living a life of unattached joy, living fully but unattached to everything, and not becoming depressed because of it. Nobody is giving me attention, nobody is saying hello to me, nobody is going to, who cares, man? You are satisfied with yourself completely, because your goal is your essential nature. All these idiots are, should say idiots. All this world of people and animals and inert objects is nothing but a projection of our mind only. And by our own projection, we are getting disturbed. Like we are getting disturbed by our own reflection. इससे बड़ा बेवकूफ कौन होगा? Who will be more stupid person than this? That he is getting disturbed by his own reflection. Like a small child, after taking shower, stands in front of the mirror. The mirror is a little bit foggy and he can't see his face. He starts crying because he sees a ghostly face there. One eye, half the teeth, one nostril. He gets scared. That is our state. We are looking at this reflection with a clouded mind. That clouded mind is attached mind. Drop the attachment, vision will become clear. Everything will present as it is. There you go. How many more ways I can explain? But we'll keep, because I am teaching my mind. It's also making the same mistake every now and then. So it needs to be put in the right direction again and again and again and again and again till it becomes its nature. Till it becomes its nature. Swamiji, it took you 25 years and still it is, yes. I'm like that dog, my mind is like that dog's tail. All I can do, I cannot stop the mind from thinking, because the nature of mind is to think. So don't misunderstand what I am saying. Mind's job is to think or not to think. I am looking for that gap while I am speaking. Every now and then I access that gap where mouth is speaking, mind is thinking, but I am not the mind and I am not the speaker. Yet everything is going on. And you access because these thoughts are conducive to, if you are subjectively interacting with these thoughts, the mind is contemplating on them because it is hearing what it is speaking. The mind is hearing what the mouth is speaking. After that it is coming to you. So if it is contemplative, if it is subjective, every now and then suddenly the distance between the mind and the speech, it comes. Everything is going on, but you are separate. And only once, if you have that, come to know that, yes, then it has to, the duration of abidance has to increase. That is a different part. That's why we are teaching. But once it clicks that you are other than the mind and the speech, then you cannot stop yourself. You want to engage with it again and again so that you access that space, that gap, that distance from the mind and speech, and meaning the body. Not by killing the body, I want to distance from the body. Not by troubling the body by yoga and pranayama and unwanted sitting for 5 hours. That is not the way. In and through life, whatever life is presenting, you respond to that. It is natural for the mind to respond to that. But don't get attached to it, that's all. When we are walking, did I decide, oh, now this chemist warehouse shop's window is coming, there I can see myself if I lost weight or gained weight. Then next, oh, now this Salvation Army window is coming, there also I can see, I think there the reflection is much better. Do you walk around thinking like this all the time? No. So you work on yourself. You work on yourself. And in this manner, desires are such that we desire some things in the world, and when our desire is fulfilled, should they arise again? They should not, because we are fulfilled. But does that happen in our life? They keep arising again and again and again and again. Something is wrong, something is amiss. And what is amiss is our focus, our acceptance of ourselves, that what we are seeking is our own essential nature. So the conclusion is, the whole world, individual or total, cannot make you happy. Even gods are miserable. Just now, Lord of Death, who is going to give knowledge to Nachiketa, he just in the last verse showed his frustration that, I wish I was like you when I was young and did my sadhana. But alas, I didn't. Now I'm stuck for the eons and eons and eons. So many cycles of creation, I'm stuck in this position. So choose wisely. Choose wisely. The whole world cannot make us happy, because we can never unite with the world, but we can unite with our self, because we are already the self. That possibility is there. That possibility presents itself every night when we go to sleep, but you are unaware of it. Be aware of it. There you are. But we want, when we are aware of it, why it is not happening? Where am I falling short? I think I should do yoga. I think I should go and attend that lecture. I think I should read this scripture. I think I should do pranayam. I think I should do Raj Yoga. No, Raj Yoga didn't work. I did it for 5 years. I think I'll do Kundalini Yoga. Oh, Kundalini, it's too much problem. Okay, I do Nam Japa. We create all problems by ourselves. All you have to do is remain awake at night when you go to sleep. Simple instruction. But we introduce so many things in between, because the khujli is, the itch is, how can I get something without doing anything? I have to do something. लगे रहो फिर उसके बाद क्या टाइम हो गया? हाँ? So when we reach the state, the Hiranyagarbha, there is perfect balance, there is perfect integrity, there is perfect union with the total mind. But it is still not it is relative immortality, it is not absolute immortality. See, when do we feel happy? We feel happy when I came here, I was hungry. And the moment the food went into my mouth, when I became the one who wanted food, so I am the eater, food is the eaten. When the eater and the eaten become one, there is no difference left in them, then there is fulfillment, isn't it? Then there is fulfillment. When the subject I and the object food become one, now there is no food outside, there is no object to eat. Why? It's already gone and it become one with me. It's included in the definition of I. Hiranyagarbha is a state where everything is included in the I. There is absolute, relatively absolute union, total union. The subject and object are one in the unmanifest state. And therefore the fulfillment, therefore the powers, therefore the siddhis, because there is no two there, there is only one. But the world is still there. The world is still there. Whereas when we come to the Atman, there is no more world after that. So in this way, So what is Hiranyagarbha? Hiranyagarbha is the total intelligence that is possible, the total consciousness. We are not talking about absolute consciousness, it's the total consciousness, it's the total mind, and it is that which supports all the planes of existences. It supports all the worlds, the seven divine worlds and the seven nether worlds, the lower worlds, Tala, Tala, Sutala, Patala, all those. So they are present within your body. Below the Muladhar, the seven nether worlds. Above the Muladhar till Sahasrar, all the higher worlds, 14 worlds. Chaturdasha Bhavana. All these are supported by the Hiranyagarbha, and therefore it is the cause of all creation. And in this way, this Hiranyagarbha, just as our mind supports the functioning of this body, just as our mind supports the functioning of this individual body, Hiranyagarbha, the total mind, supports the total body. See? So this distinction, what we are telling here in Upanishad, this is shown in Panchadashi and some other texts, but you will not see it it's there in Bhagavatam also, but it is covered with stories. It's there in Ramayana, but covered in stories. You have to pluck it out. And how does one pluck it out? When you listen to a teacher who has learned from his teacher. See? So wherever there is karma, where is karma? Where is action? Manasa, Vacha, Kaya. As long as these three are involved, as long as these three are used, as long as these three are employed, the maximum you can reach is Hiranyagarbha. What? If I do Havan, Home, Puja, I can only go up to Hiranyagarbha? Yes. If I speak, if you are giving lectures, only Hiranyagarbha? Yes. If I contemplate, if I ideate, if I use thoughts for contemplation, I can only reach Hiranyagarbha? Yes. Then how will I come to know the Atman? You are the one who's supporting the thought, word and deed. You are already that. Karma means karma phala will be there, isn't it? There will be a result. If I speak, if I am focused on speech, if my hand is going to pick up the food and put it into the mouth, action has taken place. What is the expectation? That the food goes into the mouth, not into the nose, and then it goes in, and result is karma phal is satisfaction, udara shanti, hai na? When I speak, it is an action. What is the result? That understanding, communication is taking place, and hopefully understanding is taking place. Clarity is coming about. Mental activity. Is mental activity leading to confusion, or is mental activity leading to clarity? Is it leading to less thoughts, or is it leading to more thoughts? Activity we are talking about. So I am thinking, I want to realize, I am thinking, I am studying scriptures, I am giving a lecture, you are listening to a lecture, you are doing seva at the temple. all that is leading to a quieter mind, contemplative mind, no mind, or is it leading to irritation, judgment, biasness, finding faults, stress, strain? If that is happening, we are losing the plot. we are losing the plot then. You see? So it is a wonderful state to be one with Hiranyagarbha, no doubt. That is, in other words, it is called God realization. Hiranyagarbha means God realization. It's a wonderful state. But Nachiketa, I bow down to you. You have rejected even God realization. Very rare are such students who are ready to, they are so clear in their goal, in their focus, that they don't want God realization. Because with God realization, coming and going is still there. Yam tvam jnatum ichhasyatmanam. Now, Lord of Death is telling our Nachiket, now I will tell you, Nachiket, that about that Atma which you are wishing to know. Because what did he ask? Some people say that there is Atma after death. Some people say there is no Atma after that. So I want to know that. And before he came to this verse, so many verses in the last chapter, and he gave him so many temptations. Nachiketa said, I don't want. Then in this chapter, he is singing, he's bringing the Shreyas and the prayers. Then he re-narrated the great qualities that he saw in Nachiket. Then he told Nachiket how he fell short when he was doing sadhana. Wish he could be like Nachiket. And now in this particular 11th verse, as a conclusion, he says, I have presented you the Hiranyagarbha, the God realization, in which you are God realization is like you are the master of the whole world, living in this world, unaffected by the world, but the whole world is at your feet. Whole world is at your feet. You can fix anything, you can hear anything, you can go into past, present, future, nothing. All the gods are at your fingertips. And he's appreciating that, Nachiket, you even rejected that fantastic opportunity which many people are aspiring for. That makes you qualified for knowing the Atman. Now I will instruct you about the Atman. From the 12th verse, now the Atma Gyan or Brahma Vidya, another word for it is Brahma Vidya. So now be very clear, Bhagavan Vidya and Brahma Vidya is too different. We are not into God realization in Upanishads. The purpose of life is not God realization. Purpose of life is self-realization. If you can't reach self-realization, God realization is okay. It is still here. It's better than nothing. It's better than nothing. Every few million years you will get some stress. Who am I? Where am I? What am I? Like Brahmaji had when he came into existence. You will also have that. But rest of the period for millions of years, you go to hell, you go to heaven. You go to hell, you go to heaven. That's what he's doing. But not like us. Where is is there going to be a third world war? When is the COVID going to go? My pain is here, when will it go? I think I have to do an MRI. Where is my next bhiksha going to come from? What will I do now? Now I have to go back home and put this on the YouTube. Oh God, चाबी लगी रहती है पीछे. See? So you are in Hiranagar, you are free of all this. The support structure automatically comes around. You will not believe, Swami Anubhavanandaji, who is our Acharya, he has written only one book in his life. But he has published more than 100 books now. How come? Does he pay someone to write books? No. People have volunteered. They say, Swamiji, we want to do something for you. So someone must have said sometime when it began that I want to, they presented him, his talks, they put it in English, made a small booklet and gave it as a prasad to the, lecture, when the lectures are kept. That must have started off that way. And slowly, now there is about 20-30 people who are self-inspired, not for a salary. It is their sadhana. They listen to the lectures, they write down, write down the lectures, then they edit it, then they make it into a file, they send it to Swamiji, then Swamiji re-edits it when he has time. And at least 20 books are still in waiting. He doesn't get time. He only does it when he is interested. He doesn't do it because I have to get more books out into the world. No. So why did I give you this example? Effortlessly everything is going on. Effortlessly. See? But Nachiketa has rejected that. Easy come, easy go. We are not interested. It will still happen, but you should not be interested in it. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om.